Do any of you happen to have a close relation that's female? If you do, then you have been affected by feminist work in some way. Now, you might think that feminism was something that happened a long time ago before women had the vote, and now that they have the vote, it's old news. But if you look at the work done by Hillary Lips, you can see that differentiation between wages of men and women still persist. Women still make 80 cents to every dollar a man makes. When you think of feminism, you might think of just one thing, but in reality, it's many things. I'm Rebecca Davis, and I've been teaching feminist philosophy for many years. I have a master's in philosophy with an emphasis in women's studies. So this is one of my favorite topics. So what I'd like to do is talk about the differences between two opposing views of feminism. In Alison Jagger's landmark work, Feminist Politics and Human Nature, she distinguishes between 4 different types. But I'm going to focus on 2 and look at their views of human nature and their proposals for change and show how significantly different these 2 different types of feminism can be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the differences between liberal and radical feminism. First, their view of human nature. Liberal feminist view of human nature focuses on equality and the sameness between men and women. And this is what most people think of when they think of feminism, the power suit, getting the vote, getting equal pay for equal work. Liberal feminists believe that human nature is the same regardless as to whether or not you're a male or female. The human nature is based on a capacity for reason or rationality. All human beings are rational, they're individual, and they're egoist. In other words, they're self-interested. So these are individual people looking out for themselves. And that's what it means to be a human being. These individual egoists are outside of history. What that means is it doesn't matter when you were born or where you were born, you are an individual person out for your self-interest. The liberal view of human nature. On the other hand, the radical view of human nature focuses on differences, the unique differences between people. They do admit that human beings are rational creatures. However, they also believe that human beings are emotional and physical. They focus on the biological differences between men and women and other characteristics of masculinity and femininity. They emphasize the differences and they focus on the value of these differences. They believe that human beings are social creatures and they're historical. So, human nature depends on when and where you were born. Whether or not you're male or female, rich or poor. All of these things affect who you are as a human being. So this is one very big difference between liberal and radical feminism. The views of human nature, sameness versus difference, historical versus ahistorical, social versus individual. These views of human nature affect their proposals for change. The liberal feminist proposal for change focuses on incorporating women into mainstream society. They want equality. They want equal pay for equal work. They want to know that they're being treated the same regardless as to whether or not they're male or female. They want an androgynous society where you look at the human being, not the maleness or femaleness. Their reward system would be based on merit, not on the accidental biological makeup of the person. They use rational argument to defend why women should be treated the same as men. Radical feminists such as Asoka Bandaraj believe that it takes more than legal changes to change society for women and men to be valued. The radical proposal for change focuses on the value of feminine and masculine characteristics. Radical feminists believe that so far in society, the masculine characteristics are the only ones that have been valued at all. They want to emphasize the value of those feminine characteristics as well. They believe that both men and women have both masculine and feminine characteristics, and that both of these sides should be valued. Because the feminine has not been valued historically, they want to develop a women's culture to increase the value of that culture. And they depend on a grassroots movement for change. So when you look at feminism, you might think of this power suit. But in reality, feminism is many different things. We've talked about the differences between radical and liberal views of human nature and their proposals for change. And now you know that feminism isn't just one thing. Thanks.
Perfect. That was really good.
That was good. That was 6:30.
6:30?
6:30.